Welcome to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Today we're just going to go over a call I did. Yes, a very first interview with the Kerplunq, my buddy Ryan. Go to his page at facebook.com/Kerplunq. Wait, you can't. Well, I can't. Why? Because I got blocked by Facebook. Why? Mainly because I posted apparently an inappropriate picture that violates their policies. Unfortunately, after great research by myself and my administration, I did not violate the Facebook policy. So I apologize that if you may not see this update right away, I am serving at least 12 hours in the sin bin. However, if you follow us on Twitter, you can look us up at the Droids We Are Looking For. That is abbreviated _Canada. We're constantly updating on there too. Eventually, we'll be looking into building our own website and our own domain. But for the time now, this is what's going to have to do. I apologize. I sound a little pissed off. It's been a really long day. However, before I get started and going into my little podcast here, I just want to do a shout out to Nerd Appropriate. Thank you for the shout out. I appreciate the fact that you took the time to give us a little shout out on your show. Go to their website at www.nerdappropriate.com. Look up episode 135. At the end of the show, they do a little pop. They do the pop to Andrew and the Droids You Are Looking For, and we definitely do appreciate you. And with that said, enjoy your chimichanga and trek on.
I'd like to have a calm discussion on this topic. You think we can manage that?
It's not. What is going on? I called you back.
Not too much, man. What is up?
All right, so we don't have to get into. Well, we do have to introduce you a little bit, I guess. So this is Ryan, who has his own page, which is the facebook.com/Kerplunq with a Q, because he wants to be fucking different. What a loser. Anyways, he's come on today, and he's going to tell us some cool things that's recently come out. And if you don't know, just give you a little background. Me and Ryan have known each other for, what is it, 15 years, 16 years?
Something about that.
Yeah, funny story about Ryan is that how we became friends is because he told me he was having sex with my mother when I was in grade 9. It traumatized me since. Never recovered from it. But thanks,
it's
Ryan.
true. It traumatized me also.
But anyways, with that said, today we're going to go over the Samsung Galaxy Gear, which at first I didn't know what it was, but then Ryan kind of just gave me a quick crash course on it. And it's really more of a geek gadget than anything, right?
Absolutely is. It's not something that you're gonna save up all your money for just to purchase. That's for sure. It's not a need. It's definitely a want.
Interesting. Now, with it, it's. I think we just made the infamous joke of the Dick Tracy watch, so it's something similar to that, is what you're trying to say.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It's a wristband watch. It connects with your phone. Now, right now, the support for it is only on 3 different devices, and they're all 3 are Samsung phones. It's the S4, the Note 2, and the Note 3 are the only 3 that it's compatible for at the moment.
So what's really, I guess what I'm going to say is what's the real selling point of this?
It's something you could brag to your friends that you have that they don't.
Really? So there's like really no selling point to this. It's just kind of like another geek gadget is what you're trying to say.
Pretty much. Now, the watch could do more than just tell time. It syncs with your phone via Bluetooth. Like I said, it's a clock. It does have a built-in camera. The camera is a 1.9 megapixel camera, so it could take stills. It could also do video, so it could record up to 720p. So I guess for all the pervs that are out there, they could get their video on. Other things it does have a few different setting modes. One feature that I actually do use the most with it is the media control, because I take about 3 hours a day, an hour and a half each way on the bus to work and back. So I use the media control, so that way I'm not digging my S4 out of my pocket. You know, especially since it's wintertime and here in Canada, you know, last thing I want to do is dump it on the ice or something.
Now, does it have the ability to start a dildo?
I bet you someone can make an app for that.
No, I saw this and I was just thinking to myself. It reminded me of, and I don't know, I don't know if you remember this, but there was a series that Motorola was making well before their first bankruptcy or buyout, or whatever you want to call it. They were making this series called the Motorola Frog Stomp series, and I think you were working with me at that time when we were working for AT&T, and it was the first generation Bluetooth. First generation Bluetooth handset that actually had that design to it. But this is well before Droid even existed. And it's kind of funny to see that flopped the market, but now you have your Google Glass coming out, and now you have this watch, which is based by that concept from many years ago. Now, do you think this is going to sell a lot, or is this going to be like, oh, look, I got a nifty watch kind of scenario?
Well, since I'm in the field selling these things, we've been sold out 3 different times now. It's only been launched at my store anyways since I think the end of November. Mm-hmm. We get a shipment of about 20 of them each time, and they're gone within about 2 days.
Now, how much would this retail for?
Well, the actual retail price for them, they're about $350.
Now, that's with a contract with Rogers, or is that just buy it outright?
That's just buy it outright. There is actually no contract with it. With my company, we were selling them for $50 if you activated the S4 or the Note 3, since those were the 2 major phones. So Black Friday was when I picked up my S4 and my gear. My gear cost me $50. My S4 was $0 on my 2-year contract. So, yeah. Because all it needs is the phone. There's no SIM card input for it. It's a standalone device. Well, it's not standalone because it does need the phone. It needs the phone to connect Bluetooth. The device does have a phone built into it. That's probably my biggest pet peeve, because you can see someone that's calling, you can answer with the phone or with the watch, but you have to talk with it then. And the speaker is so quiet you could barely hear it. Even in a quiet room, it's still not that loud, and I have it cranked up. You could receive text messages with it. You could read them, but you can't reply to them.
Huh.
And then the last one, if let's say you were to send me a message on Facebook, it'll come up saying there's a notification, but it won't actually even let me read it. I have to click on it, which will then open the application on my phone for me, which wasn't awesome because the phone was in my pocket.
Now, here's a question for you. Now, knowing all this, do you think this technology should have waited a little bit longer before it came out? Because it seems like from all the character flaws of the feature, the watch per se, it seems like it was rushed to market to make a quick buck, and they didn't really smooth everything out yet. Because, I mean, that's going to be a huge selling point is, can I reply to text messages? Everyone's a Facebook fanatic, so they'll want to go to their Facebook and put statuses, but it seems like they took that away from it, and they just made it more as a window that you can see these things, but then you still have to use your phone. So, to roundabout back to my question is, was this too early to bring out to the public?
I don't think so, and there's 2 reasons. The first reason is, a year ago, Sony launched one when they were with Ericsson. They launched one called the Live View, which I actually own as well. Actually, I won it. And that thing was the biggest piece of crap I've ever owned for anything technology-wise. It would constantly disconnect after about 5 or 10 minutes, and then would take another 15 minutes for it to connect back with the phone. This unit, once it's connected to the phone, as long as your Bluetooth is on, it'll work. If you turn the Bluetooth off on your phone, the unit will still work like a clock, like a watch and everything. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Live View, the minute that it lost the Bluetooth connection, it would lose everything. It would just go to 0000 as the time. Another thing with the Samsung Galaxy Gear, it does pack some good equipment in it. It does have an 800 megahertz processor in it. It's got 512 megs of RAM. It's got 4 gigs of internal storage. There's updates for these things, and that's a big thing. So all the flaws I have with it now could easily be fixed with a software update. They just launched it only a couple months ago. I would say give it a couple more months, and I bet you someone's going to complain to the higher ups, and they'll push out an update. They'll fix some of the things, anyways.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely very informative because I've been looking for something new in the marketplace for technology, I guess I would say. And I mean, this is something that I guess I'm not ready for personally. But thanks for letting us know about that because I know with technology growing constantly, there's going to be duds. I would say duds. We can talk about all the BlackBerry phones just based by that comment alone. I mean, and I mean it's kind of great to have a kind of conversation about cell phones because I've been so endowed with knowledge of cell phones that I haven't used it in so long. So I mean,
oh, it's true.
Okay, so thanks for filling us in on about that. Now, just as a
Yep.
not a roundabout, I need to know because no one has said anything positive about it, and I'm kind of curious. I heard that Elder Scrolls Online sucks massive donkey dick, and I heard it was so bad that apparently there was videos of people rage quitting online. And you sent me a picture of what happened when you were loading it, I guess you were trying to do?
Yep.
Wow. Like, I mean... So
Actually, yeah. Elder Scrolls Online. If you have played any of the most recent Elder Scrolls, being, we'll say starting from Morrowind to Oblivion to Skyrim, they're decent games. Elder Scrolls Online is another one of those games just with an online feature. That's how it feels to me. The picture that I sent you was the error I got with my level 3 mage who got disconnected from the server, and then I could not log on for 4 hours because it kept telling me that I think it's my race class and alliance were an illegal combo. Well, just to let people know, Elder Scrolls was a beta that was open for stress testing on the weekend. Usually Blizzard steps in to give them the big middle finger, but they didn't. This time Square Enix did it by saying, hey, listen, Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn, we're going to let you play for free for the weekend. So if it gives you any indication, I played Elder Scrolls for about, well, I'll say honestly about 15, 20 minutes, and then played Final Fantasy for about 14 hours.
Wow. That bad, eh? It was that bad is what you're trying to say.
Well, the game wasn't bad. It is beta. I was expecting the glitch. It wasn't horrible. I would probably not buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I have Skyrim. If I really want to play that game, I'll just play Skyrim.
So my problem is that I can't even sit down and play.
Now, not to discourage too many people. Well, the cool thing with that series is you can be everything and anything all at once with that game. So if you want to be a mage that's in plate armor and you're a sword and board and a mage, you could be a bound mage. Absolutely. All you have to do is just level those proficiencies. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to be a healer, like a priest or a cleric, and you want to, pick locks and be a thief at the same time. Who's stopping you? It's just when I played, like I said, I understand it's a beta. I know there's glitches. I was constantly disconnected with it. Every time, I'm so used to all the other MMOs I play, so I don't usually take stairs. I usually try to jump off the side of cliffs and stuff. And every time I did that, I always got caught in midair, in suspension, and had to wait for some random mob to walk by to kill me. Because the reload UI didn't work. Well, it would work, but it wouldn't unstick me. There was no unstuck button. So the only option I had was to wait for somebody to kill me, and constantly getting disconnected. But it was a stress test, so the whole point was to see how much the servers could take. Now, there are upsides. Like I said, you could be anything in the game at once. You could be everything. There is no shards. There is no servers. It's one massive mega server. So you don't have to go looking around for your friends. You're all on the same server if your friends are going to play the game.
Huh. See, here's the thing. I was never a fan of Skyrim, and I tried so goddamn hard to play this game. You have no idea how bad I kept... It's like I was lying to myself to watch and play this game. And then I remember just getting to the one part of the game where you have to climb up a fucking mountain and you keep getting killed by this fucking troll. And all I wanted to do was stab this fucking troll, but I kept fucking dying. And I turned it off in disgust because I was a huge fan of like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. And then when he popped out their version of Fallout and Elder Scrolls, i.e. Skyrim, I was like, this is it? This is it. This is what you gave me, is shit. So to hear that Elder Scrolls Online is a big pile of shit, it doesn't surprise me in any shape or form.
Well, like I said, it's got a lot of great potential if you're into those games. I'm actually a fan of most of the Elder Scroll games. Actually, I owned Arena, which was one of their very first games for my 386. It was amazingly horrible, but I still owned it, and it was about one of the only dungeon crawlers I had at the time. A lot of people are going to disagree with you saying that the other ones are bad. I actually like the other ones. This one here, it's just, I don't know what I was expecting, and it was another Elder Scrolls game, and it wasn't, I don't know, just it didn't tickle my fancy.
That's why I was just kind of curious if, what your insight into the game was.
Well, I don't think it's a pile of shit. I think it's great and it has good potential. It's just not a game that I'm interested in. I'm glad I played the beta and got a little taste of it before I went and dumped a bunch of money like I usually do and buy the collector's editions of everything because I think everything is great until I play it and then I want to just smash my head on my keyboard repeatedly.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on today and doing a quick little podcast with us. I appreciate it. It's good to hear your voice again. That's for sure, because I haven't seen you in a long time. Yeah. So we're going to have to get you...
I do appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, definitely. We should get you on come into the podcast studio sometime, i.e. my office. It'd be a lot easier to do a live show than it would be doing it via Skype, because... Anyways, so thank you for joining for the podcast today, and enjoy your...
thanks for having me.
Enjoy your chimichanga, sir. Eat.
Oh, I will.
Eat that chimichanga.
Game over, man. It's game over. Thanks for listening to the Droids You Are Looking For podcast. Stay tuned for next week's podcast.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.